Hello YouTube, Brother81 here again, and today I'm going to show you my first ever used Powermac G4. This one is a Powermac G4 digital audio, the base model, running at 466 MHz. The digital audio, compared to the previous model, the Gigabit Ethernet, had three things uh, new. The first one, obviously, is a new digital audio sound chip, and for the USB powered speakers. The second one was the front side bus was bumped from 100 to 133, and the other one, since this the chip it's a PowerPC 7410, it uses 180 nanometers compared to the 200 nanometers of the 7400, which means less power and less heat, which we're going to make a compare with the heatsinks. So how did I get this one? I think it was in the 2007 8, and I did have a cell phone, a Nokia Navigator, a second model, which unfortunately I did use it a lot, especially with the GPS that it had, and the memory and the battery was always down. Tend to see you, for example, want to get some stuff, use the GPS and go walk. And unfortunately, it would stress the battery. And when I arrived at the place or something, the battery is very low, and I couldn't even make a talk. So instead of trading or selling, trading for a PC and on other parts, I decided, let me try to go with a Power Mac. Since back in the day, some people wanted me to ask me if I could repair, install, and do stuff with Macs, which I have zero knowledge. So I went on an online, I think it was OLX or something like that. I can't remember now. And no, I think it was not OLX, or was it? I can't remember. And I did get a computer with a keyboard and a mouse. I think the mouse was a puck mouse, and with the in the newer keyboard. Um, I don't know. I know that I did upgrade some stuff, and I got it home. See how it sorry, how it works, and it was working fine, and that, and I decided to let's reformat it, install the operating system. So I went online. I think it was Macintosh Garden that I got the CD versions of the macOS Tiger, 4 CDs, and so I was new. I selected everything. It took a while to install everything, and well, it was my and the rest of the specs. I don't remember how much memory it had, but on the final list that I have it, I sold it. It had 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. It came originally with the GeForce 2 MX, not the Rage 128 Pro, which was a good thing. I replaced the hard drive with the 60 gigabytes that is now. Replaced with the DVR-W, but I need to also replace it because it doesn't open that well. It comes with a zip drive. I forgot to test it out to see if it's working or not, and I did a good cleaning, and it was my main for a while my main Power Mac G4 for a while. And later, after a few months, I think, I was on the internet and I this did saw on the on an old website, Mac Elite, I think it was Mac Elite, how to flash PC cards to Macs. And the first card that I had flashed, that is currently now on my Quicksilver, it was the GeForce FX 5500 with 128 megabytes HGPU, and it was not that big of a difference. Some macOS okay to look better, animations were better, and overall, back in the day, googling it was okay. In games, back in the day, Quake 2, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, Quake 3 Arena, I see a big jump in performance. And what else more? So let's power it up and see the specs. Ooh, sorry. And last week I bought this one, like I told you on the previous video, on the Mac video, that I will get the first Mac I ever own. And to my big surprise, when I opened it in the store, um, it was cash converters. Um, I found it relatively familiar how it was on the insides, because when I sold it, I placed an GeForce 4 MX with 1 gigabyte of RAM, the 60 gigs hard drive, and I think it's very similar. I don't know why. It feels very similar. So, I come home. I think I have a few pictures, and I remember. Okay, this is definitely my first Mac. That I sold to someone, and after a while they must sold it to, in the store, because the operating system was never formatted. It's still original operating system that I installed, as I'm going to show you now. Let me put a little more closer. I think you can see the specs. And to my surprise, on more information, it has my name on it. And wow. And like on the forum that I posted pictures of this computer, one member that said, "What comes around," and okay, that is true. So basically, this is my first Powermac G4. Here are the specs: Powermac G4, Powermac 3.4, Powermac G4 2.9, one CPU, 466 MHz. Sorry, 1 megabyte of L2 cache, 1.25 gigabytes of RAM, with a frontside bus of 133. Here are the graphics, the GeForce 4 MX. It's a 32 megabytes model. I thought it was a 64, but it's a 32 megabytes DDR. Compared to the GeForce 2, it's a lot faster. Here's the memory, two 512s, one 56. Just ignore what it says on the Demon free, because this model, starting from this model, you don't have free slots, not four. Maybe something with the system that Apple didn't remove. Diagnostics, it doesn't have anything. There's an arrangement. I need to fix it. Yes, return to Castle Wolfenstein. Let me just unmute it because of copyright strikes. I still like this game. It never existed. You can play it. Skip the intro. Somebody did play it without changing the PRAM. So, for my TC, the last time I played was in August 2012. Back in the day, I did trade a laptop with the MDD that I made a video a few time ago. Okay, this is weird. Why mission 1? Maybe I thought it was the final level, but it's not. Maybe it's the other one. Let me quick recheck. Let me check this autosave. Where it's also from the first mission or not? No. It's almost hand of it. It's almost at the end. Hmm? Okay. Simply pushing the system way up. Go to options. System. Let's see. High quality. Yeah, this game really pushes the system very well. As you can see on the bottom left corner, this is February 2002. So in 2002 we have much faster. Probably that's why it's a bit slow. Maybe if 1024, maybe it will help. It was a surprise to me getting the computer I bought and sold after a few years. Hmm? Oh, okay. She was stuck on the door. Let me see up in the resolution if it helps or not. So this model, the 466 and the upper 533, use the same CPU, the PowerPC 7410. Higher than that, the other models, it uses the 7450, which is the same on the Quicksilvers. But on the Quicksilvers, you see a lot more. Uh, they decided to have higher end models with L3 crash, which did help a lot. Let's see. Hmm. It's okay. In the secret area. Gold. Dang it. The frame rates. I'm really pushing the system to its maximum. I need to really be really careful on this area. There are lots of enemies. I really need very. Woohoo! Dang it. The room is clear. Taking by surprise is the best way. Maybe it's the computer, I don't know. The enemies are not. Yay. So I'm going to power it down and I'm going to show you the difference between the AGP gigabit model and this one. So here the computer open up. In terms of external difference between the AGP and I think the gigabit Ethernet, it's a power button. The digital it's a white one, and this one is a green. So as you can see, internally on the part of optical drive, power supply, fan is everything, and hard drives is all the same. The difference starts especially on the PCI expansions. With the redesigned motherboard, Apple on the digital audio was able to place one more PCI, which means it had two, four expansion slots, plus the AGP for the graphics cards. While on the other ones, you only have three. Of course, you have one less RAM slots. The RAM slots, the digital audio on the G3 is G3 blue and white, HB graphics, and the gigabit always on the top with four slots. In here on the digital audio, the RAM is between the AGP and the CPU with only three slots. As you can see, the difference of the heatsinks. On the AGP graphics and gigabit, it uses this style of heatsink with a design. Sorry, I completely forgot what to call this. With a flat area and a more elevated area. And I think in a higher between the CPU and the heatsink, let me see, it's probably the same. I think this is smaller. I think between the CPU and the heatsink, I think this one is a little bit smaller and wider. Yeah, this was a bit smaller and wider. And they decided to use a complete fin array on the heatsink. And another difference is they added this ventilation group here to help push in cold air to keep the CPU running cooler. Here's the graphic card, the GeForce Powermac. This one is interesting. It doesn't have a modem. It has a serial adapter instead of the modem, which I'm going to show you. Hold up. So I taken the from the tripod so I can see better. Here's the serial port. So instead of the modem, you have that serial adapter. You can see on the back. It did come with the original battery. Fortunately, it didn't blow up or leaked, which was a good thing. The RAM, I took the 512 megabytes of RAM stick that I have on AGP graphics and placed it here. So basically, that one is now only with 1 gigabyte of RAM, and this one with 1.25 gigabytes of RAM. The optical drive, I'm going to replace it with a CD-ROM or DVD player. The power supply, here's the info. It was built in 2001 or 4, week 4, so it's very early 2001. Here's a hard drive trays. A place for the airport card. Here are the 4 PCI Express, PCI X 64 bits. What I can say in terms of performance? Okay, it's better. Another quick look, my HGP graphics. With the Rage 128. And oh, I forgot, I bought it for 50 euros. It was 60, but they, since it was a very long time on the store, they made it 50 euros that I bought. It's a countries, it made me look too high, but okay, maybe they did expand more. You can get on some countries a lot cheaper or for free, evenly. Let's close this up. I'm going to place this on the tripod. Hold on. So it's on the tripod again. So it's a little scratch up because this one on the store. The previous, I don't remember how it was before I sell it. So it's very scratched. So for this basic model, I'm going to do more upgrades. I'm going to buy more cards. Maybe GeForce 6200 or 5500, 5200. Flash it and place it here. I do have a better one, a Radeon 9000. I'm going to try to place it here to see how much of the difference is. And as you can see, fortunately Apple did redesign the back I/O, so you can see what model it is. If they do the same thing, you didn't know what model. Only from the back you can tell what model you have or going to buy. Close up the AGP graphics in the back side. As you can see, a big difference. Here we have this hologram type thing that moves, and there just a simple white plate, probably making the costs down. So I'm planning on more upgrades. I don't know if I'm going to place an SSD with SSD to Edge ID adapter, or just buy a compact flash adapter or an SD adapter. Maybe an SD because it's cheaper to get the computer more quick. About the AGP, I think I'm still going to keep it, and make some see some difference between the two of them. The AGP graphics case is in a somewhat bad condition. There is some scratches. As you can see, even the power buttons reset in programmable is different. And I'm going to try to test. I'm going to test the zip drive and see if working or not. So, thank you for watching, and see you guys later.